My name is Walid Rantous. I'm representing Blankpage Architects, Beirut. I'm here to share with you one of our latest projects. It's called Saint Charbel Church in Zakrit. Okay. This is Zakrit. Zakrit is a small village in Mount Lebanon with a slopey terrain surrounded by big mountains, as you can see here, by olive trees and overlooking the Mediterranean Sea to the east, to the west. This is an 18th century old church with its limestone wall structure, as you can see here. So it's punctuated, it has a rectangular shape, monolithic, all made with limestone, and is punctuated by small doors, an arch here, small windows, and a bell tower on the roof. Here we can see the stone all inside. And this is a narrow stair leading to the roof upside. This is the old historical chapel with a capacity of 30 people inside, only 30 people, and the piazza all around. This piazza was the place where people come and enjoy here in that place. So it has a capacity of only 30 people inside. And we were supposed to do a big church next to it with a capacity of 600 people inside. That means 20 times more people than the other one. So the big question was how to do that without overshadowing the old chapel. We slanted the roof down toward the old chapel. So, excuse me. Okay. So we slanted the roof down towards the old chapel. And since the highest point was to the east, where the altar was supposed to be, so this gesture, this architectural gesture, makes sense to us because it opens up to the east, to the altar, and bows down towards the old chapel. And since the roof is not simply a roof anymore, because it's a continuation of the piazza below, so we have decided to do an amphitheater, an outdoor amphitheater on top of it. This is the interior. Interior through the entrance arch was made as permeable as possible towards the piazza because it's becoming a continuation because the internal space and external space through this arch. We can see people here inside the church, more people on the mezzanine, on the two aisles. It's divided into three parts because the structure already exists. We are constructing on an existing reception areas below. So all these columns exist already. More people to the outside. So in that case, when people are inside and outside, because there are so many people here, so the altar will be here in that place. It will change from here to here. It will become central of the composition. The complete church with all its elements, auditorium on the roof, the entrance, arch that becomes an altar above. So when the weather is good, we do ceremonies here, religious ceremonies on the roof of it. The altar tower, getting the sun from the west and diffusing it to the inside. The trees in relation to the trees here in the piazza, so as a continuation of the piazza. The stair going down to the reception areas. And here we have the elevator box that holds also the cross, steel cross. So people can be sitting here on the top of it. It becomes their place. And people can be also here, and the altar above the entrance here at this point. This is a sketch section summarizing all what I have said already. So we can see the continuation between interior and exterior space. It becomes one big space. So when the people are outside and inside, the altar becomes here in this area. And when people are sitting on the roof of it, so the altar becomes here above the entrance. And it's cascading from the internal altar towards the external piazza here. And this is the altar tower where sun comes from here in the west and diffuse inside. The funding for the church is usually done by local communities through donation. So, and thus, sometimes it takes time to finish a church, as you know. It takes sometimes 10 years to 15 years, depending on the budget. And this is very common in Lebanon. This is why we have decided to do it in fair-faced concrete. It's all made with fair-faced concrete. Here we can see. And it's a monolithic. It has the same monolithic shape that the old church has already, with all the stairs that goes up from here to the roof, the same elements that we took from the old church and we reinterpreted in a contemporary way in this church. So that's why, from the first place, we have decided to do it in fair-faced concrete. Thus, when the elements are cast, they are already finished. We don't have to put another layer on it. Carving the cross in the altar wall. The roof finished also with fair-faced. For the roof, we have decided to use terracotta tiles, as you can see here. It's reminiscent of traditional Lebanese houses. They are low budget and were simply molded inside the church and placed on the roof. This is also the steel tower. The steel bell is made by local artisan steel workers. The bell tower is made with two crosses connected together, and the bell in between. You can see it here. Here we can see the scale of a human being versus the ring here. And this is a bell. The new church in relation to the old chapel, so concrete neutral material versus the old stone here. We can see that the new church reveals its fourth facade, which is the roof. The roof becomes the main facade of the building. So the impact of the vertical facade is minimal versus this one. We can see the trees, the altar tower, the entrance from here. So it's a neutral material that does not compete with the stone. This is it. The extension from the roof towards the plaza. The entrance to the roof from here, you can see this opens and you can go through a stair towards the roof upside. The trees. This is from the back. We can see the tripartite division between the central and the wings. And this is the cross. Voilà, from the inside, all made with concrete. It's only the structural elements that define the space, no other ornamental divisions. So this is the cross bringing the light from the east towards the church. We can see it here, printed on the floor. Another view of the altar, the sun coming from the west and diffusing inside. Another one. So this is an opposite side. We can see the piazza outside with the trees and the continuation between the interior and external space. This door here can open completely. Voilà. And here, from the other side, from the court side, we can see the piazza, the church, this part, which is the entrance, versus the old stone. A close-up, we can see all the elements that defines the place, which are the church here, punctuated by its entrance, by another entrance here, a stair leading to the reception below, the box here that holds the cross, and it has an elevator that goes down also to the reception areas. Another close-up showing the material palette. So we can see glass, steel, white concrete, the trees up, the terracotta tiles, and this becomes like a screen for the old church. So we can see here printed the old church on the screen. And this is a gargoyle getting all the water from up and throwing it down to a well below the church. Another close-up view. This is the ambience. So the theater, people can be sitting here, the sun coming to the altar from the west, from here, the olive trees. It's become the place for people to come, join, and celebrate. This was taken on the festivities of St. Charbel's Day. So we can see people below, framed by this, which is the entrance on the below, and an altar here. So people can be sitting here, and you can see all people below. The tree, the cross. These are candles placed here. Another one from the opposite side. At night, light comes from the trees and from the altar. It reverses. We can see how it bows down towards the old church. So it gives it, again, its importance. Finally, this is an aerial view. We can see people sitting and enjoying. It becomes their place again. Before the church was here, all this place was used for the inhabitant of the village here. So they come to this place and enjoy. So now, they are using it again, as you can see. Above it, and here also, around the old church. Another close-up view. So they can come here, they meditate, they pray, they enjoy, and they watch the sunset on the Mediterranean Sea below. It becomes a place where they can join, because usually the big church are open once or twice a year, so this is not our target here. We wanted people to come and be here and enjoy their place. Voilà. And finally, above everything else, the old church remains the protagonist that creates the new one. Thank you.
So one question. To go to the roof, you can only enter through those two doors on the side?
Yes, you go through the two doors and you go upstairs with a narrow stair in concrete, also same as the narrow stairs that we have it in the old one. I show it. So it's the same system, but in a new way, in a contemporary way. So you go between two walls and you get there.
But it's open all the time, or you can only enter at some times that...
It's open.
It's open all the time, so you can go inside that door and go up all the time?
Exactly.
Okay.
But the roof, you mainly use it in the late afternoon, in the evening, because knowing how strong is the sun in Lebanon.
Yes, they come in the afternoon to enjoy the sunset. And for celebration, weddings, mass, etc. They do it on the roof.
So they also use it for celebration, they did it?
Of course.
Okay.
That was the target.
No, I know, but I mean, considering that, finally, we love the picture with the people inside, because it's, as usual, when you see people inside, you got the relationship with this place and the square, and the last images you show us with the square so crowded and the roof. And so the people used to go back and forth and to use the square and to use the roof as a part of the whole, as the same space?
Yeah, it becomes one big space altogether. They can be down, they can be up, they can be inside the church. That it becomes a polyvalent. Yeah, it's not meant only to be opened once or twice a year, so they can enjoy it every day, every minute, especially in the afternoon.
Space. A real public space, you mean?
It becomes a public space, exactly.
Okay.
There are some Italian suggestions for the staircase on the roof. Italian architecture suggestion have influenced you for the designing the roof with staircase, Libera Palazzo dei Congressi in Rome. That is a very similar solution, especially like the section, for the section.
Or Villa Malaparte as well.
Or Villa Malaparte also.
Reminds us Italian, typical Italian modernist buildings where the roof became a public space. Also, Michelucci Church, I remember. So he's asking if you have any Italian reminds on that, or which was the reference for the roof.
The Italian reference is connected to Oriental tradition. This space for you.
Yeah, we saw public space as an amphitheater placed on ground.
On the roof.
But on roof. I don't know, I didn't see one
here
in Italy.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, thank you so much.
Thank you.